we're in the middle of Vang Vieng in the city, but it looks like it's a farmhouse here in the middle. So,
yeah, I like to live in a forest.
In the forest, but yes,
but this is in the city, so you
in
cannot
the
have
city forest. Huh?
you cannot have a forest in the city. So I just keep some trees.
Mr. Sengkeo is the owner and initiator of the Sengkeo's Guest House. It's a kind of experimental permaculture farm near to Vang Vieng, around how many kilometers outside of the village is it?
Which one? The project itself?
Yeah.
It's 7 kilometers out of the city.
Easy to reach with a new road that they are building now to your place?
Yeah, it should be.
It should be.
Yeah.
So how it came about that you said I want to invite guests from all over the world to help voluntarily to build up kind of an experimental farm like that?
Yeah, well, the idea is like to help the local people with new technology, these kind of things, because my people they always doing the same old way without trying new idea, because I guess they afraid to try new things if the old things still work, you know. But the way I see it is when you keep on doing the same thing, you're actually getting less. So that's why I see that would be more interesting to improve something, to change the way of we doing things also, because nowadays it's not the same anymore, because the population is actually growing. So when you have more people doing the same thing, so imagine what could happen. Things could be cheaper or less material.
So old tradition can't go on like this because the surroundings they change.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. The same, before slash and burn, it's okay when you do small amount. When you live in the rainforest,
yeah,
it's okay to do slash and burn. But then when your people, it's more, and then all the timber is being sold, you cannot be doing that anymore because it's threatening to the trees, and not only that, but to the whole ecosystem. Like when the tree's gone, the water's gone, the animal's gone. So where's the fertilizer for your crops? So back then you never have to put any fertilizer into your rice field because it all comes from the forest. When the rain washing down all those fertile, it carry all the nutrition to your rice field. And back then we have lots of animals like running around, we let the ground rest in our rice field. So the cow, the water buffalo, they eat
in the dry season.
Yeah, and they're dropping there. So you have enough fertilizer.
So this natural kind of system, it came out of balance now a little bit.
Of course, not a little bit. I see a lot already. It's threatening. I'm scared. I'm scared. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. You're making a project with people from around the world who come here. Yesterday, a group of about 12, a dozen people arrived to stay here at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks.
And it would be better, probably longer.
Yeah.
So to help the locals, so that's an interesting combination of, does it really work, or do the locals, are they
I would say to exchange rather than to help, because these people, they are here to learn also,
Yeah, that's true.
To exchange the culture, to see the way of life, to see how they growing things, because some of them they don't even know how to grow things. The local people, they have a lot of skills in terms of growing, but the only thing that they don't have is planning. The local people, we don't used to plan things, ahead. But the foreigner, they are capable of planning a year, 3 years, 10 years ahead, which is allow people like they sleep day by day. So this is the difference. But in terms of hands.
So that's an interesting view, because you say the Westerners, the mostly urban people coming here, they don't come from a agricultural background mostly.
Yes.
So they are used to plan but not to do it.
Yeah,
and they don't have the experience of the problems when you start doing it. So they can learn this.
Yep,
here.
It's exchanging
kind of interesting.
Yeah, so the foreigner could show the local people how to plan ahead also, how to think a bit further. So this is a combination between the both local and foreigner, so that way they could share these, and then it should work well together if they, come together. And because local people, they are quite good.
Are you originally from here, from Vang Vieng? Or?
I'm original. Yes, you could say that. I born in the capital, but but I grew up in this house here.
So, and you studied agriculture. What is your biographical? In a short, your way that you came
I was never interested in growing, because when you grow up in Laos, when your background, like when your grandparent, your parent, always a farmer, and of course nobody want their kids to do those hard work. They're being pushed away, and so.
So that's why a lot of people who can afford push their children to go to universities or higher educational
and
levels.
then soon enough nobody doing the farming.
That's an
so this is
effect.
the problem. The whole world, huh? It's everywhere. I see that. That's why I have the idea of coming back and doing this, because if I don't want to do it, if nobody want to do it, who's gonna grow our food? So we have to grow ourselves food. So that's why I'm.
Then you decided to come back to help find a new way of reorganizing the agricultural base of living here.
Exactly. I want a simple way of growing things. I want a way of like putting things there and let it take care of itself, or less maintenance as possible. So this is the way of thinking, because this is permaculture. So I got a chance to have a taste of it, understand fully last year. What is permaculture? So for me, permaculture, it's everything. No matter wherever you are, it's all about making life simple. Make things less complicated. Anything that makes sense. Work with the nature, not against the nature. Be friend with your surrounding area, not working against them. Observing them and work with them.
So in a way you can also say that permaculture is the old way of doing things here. Because, I mean, if you're looking back also in Europe, if you look back 100 years,
I think so.
Agriculture was very, very simple, but very effective.
I
efficient.
Think so.
Because people tried to feed 12 children on a small spot of land,
I think so, but the thing, people forgot about it because of the commercial nowadays. Why are you doing this when you could buy it, these kind of things, and then people like, okay, and they kind of put in their mind, like, you're playing with dirt, it's dirty, like germ, this kind of thing, and
you will be sick tomorrow.
Exactly. But that's a wrong thing that people put on their mind. Or actually, when you're playing with little bacteria, when you consume some bacteria and your body have some bacteria, and then all of a sudden your body fight against that, you building a immune system to it. Because I'm observing the local people, they, kids, sometimes they don't even wash their hands, they're playing with it, they eat, and they're still, surviving. And then all of a sudden, some kids come from
their immune system.
Exactly. All of a sudden, some kids from the city come along and doing that, and they get sick. Because they don't get used to it. So they don't have the immune system.
So do the foreign people that come here, mostly young people, a lot of women also. I've seen practically more women than men. I've seen the last group. Do they really help, or is it more kind of education? Because I've seen yesterday on the field that some of them, I think it would be nice to see that in 2 weeks they learn to do some things.
For the first week, they kind of learn themselves first. You have to be honest on these things. It's two-way. So you get something. Of course, everybody they know something in their own way. If we could what we're trying to do is like we ask them what is their profession, what are their interests, and if it match, we try to say, would you be interested doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
So because sometimes, well, most of the case that we don't have their knowledge, we have the place, so we kind of have a place that where you could experiment the things that you really want to do if you have the time. So I found that for the short term, it's not so good, but when they have longer period, and as you see, like your friend there, so that
Robin,
as you could see, for the long term, it works very well. For the short term, I have to say like we need them also because we kind of need them for more like the financial.
Yes, of course.
For the short term. It's kind of shame, but this is the
no, it's
the
not.
real.
No, I don't believe that it's a shame because
No, for
they
me,
can profit a lot by making by seeing how our normal life here.
Yeah,
is
but in Europe, they're able not to charge the volunteer with these kind of things. Like when the volunteer come, at least the host they're able to provide accommodation and food.
Okay.
This is in Europe, but in Asia, especially in Laos, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Because of the cost of living, it's low already, but the cost of their wages, it's under.
Of course.
So when it's that happening, it's.
But I think
impossible.
that everybody's happy. I've seen always smiling faces, and also it's the surroundings are beautiful. So your soul is enriched also with the beautiful views. Over there, you will see it in another video with Robin Super a whole guided tour through the ground there.
We actually trying to sustain rather than making profit out of our helper, our volunteers. Without they paying for their own food, for their accommodation, there's no way that we could do that.
You also have some locals working there,
of course,
together in the kitchen.
Of course,
I've seen everywhere.
That's
nice also to make the connections between the volunteers and the locals.
Yeah, we pay for those people to be there. So it's not an easy task, especially Lao. Like with the whole. They never understand about corporate or about an NPA, these kind of thing, organization, how they should work. This is quite still new to them. Most of them still don't get it, how they should work as a team, as an organization, With
so
that,
that's why you're here, in fact, yes. So that you're a pioneer. Doing this also here. Also, let's talk a little bit about the society in Laos, especially here in Vang Vieng. It's a little bit outside of the big spots. A lot of the time of the people when they don't have to work on the rice field or wherever they are in the forest, also collecting things to eat. So this is a kind of like a stage between hunter-gatherer and agriculture here, isn't it like this?
Yeah, especially in Vang Vieng here, it's right here. It's not so much like that anymore. But where you saw like yesterday over there, yes, their lifestyle is still like that. They're still foraging. They still hunt whatever they could find, insects, fish. Like alongside the river, especially
birds.
anything that they could find. This lifestyle, it's getting difficult because the law is there, but there's no enforcement. Especially
the law is against this kind of thing.
Because they the local people, they come up with tools how to hunt. And they keep on hunting every day. Imagine when the fish are full with eggs in the stomach, these kind of things. And there's nobody stopping them from hunting. They will catch every fish and they will take all. If they cannot eat them all, they will sell them. These kind of things. So this is very, very dangerous. And I see now, I could compare it. Back in the old day, there's a lot of fish in the river because we have less people, we have less tool to catch them. Let's say go back in 50 years ago, my grandparents could just go grab the fish in the river by bare hand. But nowadays, with the net, you could not even find a fish. And the big fish, there's no longer exist.
But still, Laos is a big country compared to the population. I mean, it's 5-6 times bigger than Switzerland, 6 million people around.
It's
you have a lot of reserves also.
It's true.
But of course, dangerous places because of the of all these things from the Vietnam War.
Yeah, like I say, we still have a lot of land, which is very, very important. Like if we have the people that have the knowledge and come and work with our government. But I guess everything needs some money, some investment. When you want to talk to the government, of course, you have to have some organization, some NGO, big NGO back, from European country come in, and then if you want to help out, you have to okay, we want to preserve this place. How you going to do it? You have to look into the local people, because most of the time it's the local people themselves that using those forests, those area. They would cut down the trees to sell it to the business people in town here, which is in town here, like they're building restaurant, they're building guest house, hotel, all these kind of things.
And the timber all comes from wild collection in a way, huh? Okay.
It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
So the local people, they see quick money. So might as well be themselves. Even the law said no, they still sneak and doing it.
Yeah.
And who are gonna say stop when they say okay, well, school it's starting soon and my son need bicycle, so the only way to get fast money is I chop that down.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nobody think okay, find another way. There's always solution. Because I think if we kept trees, we will have more water and we could grow our food. If we grow our food, we could sell our food. We could do agriculture, we could do some fish farming, all these kind of things. But who actually have the money and have the time and talk to these people and show them the way?
Yeah. I mean, inviting guests from Europe is probably a good way. If they are eco-friendly in the whole being, that's probably a good way for Vang Vieng, for the development of kind of a exchange of knowledge between Western technology and the traditional way of life. Also, but Vang Vieng changed in the last years, I think, a lot. So it was an air base in the Vietnam War. Then it was 10 years ago a big party city starting to be.
Okay, you know about this. Okay,
yeah. Tell me a little bit about the history.
Okay.
I've heard things, but I'm not up to date, of course.
Okay. Well, I think you have the right ideas already. When the Vietnam War, we do have the airfield there for I don't know what they call the CIA, I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't work there.
No, I don't know either. So, anyhow, they have the American airfield there.
Yeah.
So whatever they use for, they even have their storage for their weapon.
Yeah. Okay.
In here in Vang Vieng, but I guess nobody talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
But that's the old day. There's no longer exists anymore those storage. But the airfield, yes, of course, you still could see it's there. And
how do you start to be a party city for backpackers and they gathered here? And I mean, in 2 days there's a big party here again from 16th to 18th. I've seen some posters in Vientiane for the festival here.
Okay.
So that must be a big action. What you're doing? Are you fleeing into the forest, or what? When they're coming, or?
Well, I don't know what to say about these. For me, what I see is now the development, the whole material things is actually blind everybody, and everybody bought up in the system nowadays. And when I see that, and my people, it's actually following the Western way of life now.
Yeah.
commercial television, you know, like, and all of a sudden they see like their neighbor having a big car, a big house, and they all of a sudden they want the same thing, and like they did not realize that they have to work hard, they have to think further, and non-stop working to keep up with these kind of things. Where's the simple life, you know? And Laos is Buddhism. Buddhism is all about simple. But they forgot about that, you know. And I was like, whoa, wow, I'm the only person kind of walk up against this. Even my own family. You look at the other people. Why you have to be so different? These kind of things, you know. And I say like, my happiness is simple. It's not about like all the material, all the building. But as you could see, like I have to do this because I still have family. I don't live alone.
Okay.
You know? If I live alone, it's probably simple. I would live in a mud house.
Yeah, like a monk in an hermit somewhere. Yeah.
And just growing whatever I can
hermit,
grow.
Decorative hermit somewhere on your farm.
Yeah, it would be like that, and I would not use any air conditioner. I would fly away, maybe live in a cave, dug in deep into the ground, and like, you know, sleeping under the ground so it keep cool.
So
cooler.
Everybody's happy you're not like that because you are one of the persons that moves things here, as I've seen yesterday, while the tour around the campground, all the happy faces of the Europeans also coming here. It is a real nice living place, also beautiful to see, and if I could afford to stay for 1 month, I would of course stay here on my whole.
Yeah, my main idea is I want to create home away from home, even for the foreigner itself. Because I believe that most of foreigner in their home, you know, everybody, most of people, I have to say like about 90% of foreigner, they are educated people, and most of them, they are against the system that they're
living in.
Born in. I have to say they're born in the system.
Yeah, okay.
And nowadays that a lot of people, they want to get out.
Yeah.
But they cannot.
Yeah.
Because the system, it's so well developed. I have to say. They are so well developed.
Subtle. Yeah.
Yeah. And the modern, I have to say, the modern slavery system, it's so powerful, it's so strong,
and so sweet.
Also,
they tell hard, you
it's hard for people to get out of it. So it's nearly impossible when if you don't move out of the country. If you stay in the country, it's nearly impossible.
So that's what you. But you had decided to come here from Vientiane to stay here and to try something, and you see that there are a lot of people coming and appreciating your ideas and your work, and the possibility also to be on a piece of land to do the things that
actually
that
if I always stay in Laos, you know, I would never see what I see now. The only people that could see what I could see is the people that have gone abroad, have seen how the world is being run in different countries. So I'm quite lucky. I'm actually live in Canada for 12 years, able to have the taste, the lifestyle of the Canadian people, and able to understand how the global, how everything works. So our human behavior is actually shaping by the surrounding area, by the environment, by the weather. It's actually shaping our behavior.
And shaping, yeah.
You know, why are the people living in the hot climate are having the same relaxation kind of idea, not thinking further ahead than what is the next meal.
Because you don't have to prepare for the winter or something like this. Yeah, that's okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying about. You know, it's different from where you come from the cold. You have to plan ahead because the winter is coming. Okay, do we have enough food? Do we have enough wood? You know, it's our accommodation is gonna be warm enough for the winter. So you have to think that. So they are well prepared. So that's why these people are thinker. And for the African people, that's why it's, you know, for the Asian people, like where it's hot country, that's why we are still poor.
Okay.
Because we keep on doing the same thing. Back then it's okay, you know.
Yeah, all the people living in temperate or northern regions, they use the other people in their warm lands to take the resources from them to be sure for the winter. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's also kind of so.
Yeah, for me, that's what I see anyhow.
So how long did this experiment go on now here in? When did you actually start?
My project I started 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 years.
So every year, how many people come here? Around 100 or
at least.
Okay.
Yeah, we calculate now every year now because we have our minimum 2 weeks. We have at least 140.
Okay. So that I also think that 2 weeks as a minimum. How it came about that you fixed that?
At first, we when I started, if you have 2 hours, I take 2 hours.
Okay.
But then I have to do explaining.
Yeah.
It take about half a day already.
All right.
So to explain people what I'm doing, to make sure that they understand what we are doing there, it's important.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to motivate them and let them bring their idea.
And really come in.
Very committing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So and then we come up to 1 week.
Yeah.
And then we found out for 1 week you just get to know what you are there for.
Yeah. And then you're gone.
You just feel like home.
Yeah.
For 1 week.
Yeah.
And then you're gone.
Yeah.
So then we say, okay, 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks, people still say after they're done 2 weeks, very short.
I would like to stay longer.
Yeah.
And so young people, mostly they can.
Of course, mostly. But we have to understand them also because they don't want to be in some place for longer if they might not like it, you know.
Of course.
So this is the things that we have to rethink.
Yeah.
And should we increase it? If we increase it, is there gonna, you know? So that's why now we have to make a partnership with school, with university first, or with another organization in Europe, so that way they could send volunteer, so they could prepare the volunteer for us before they come.
That we can make some information evenings.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they could know everything about us before they come, like for midterm volunteer, like 2-3 months, these kind of things, or even long term, a year, 6 months.
So if somebody is interested to make connections with you, I will add your contact information.
That would be
here
so
in the
lovely.
video. So everybody
so
from Europe who wants to take part in this very interesting permaculture. Also, it's really an exchange between cultures. Also,
it's
all and traditional way of
life. It's about exchange.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. If people would like to come experience Lao lifestyle and to share their knowledge, I'm welcome everybody. But if they think they want to help, let them rethink that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to disappoint anyone. If anyone come with low expectation, willing to share, willing to learn, these are the most important.
Okay, come to Vang Vieng, meet people in the permaculture village.
Agriculture,
anyway, the name is not so important. It's important what you
whatever. Just like try to make things simple,
Yeah.
easier, and like doing less work and more profit.
Yeah.
These kind of things. For us and for the local people and for the environment, everything has to be profit. Not only one way profit. Everybody has to be profit out of it. Because I believe, by us trying to preserve and protect our environment, our trees, all living things are profit from it. Anyone that breathing in the air, the oxygen, are profit from it.
So your project is mostly about exchange of knowledge and
I'm more into into exchange rather than getting help from because what we have here is like local knowledge also. Anything for foreigner would like to know, anything that we know, we love to share it.
But for the West, what can the Westerners learn from here and from your country?
Where?
What?
What
can
they? For instance, local technique farming, different species of planting. They might not have it in Europe. The plants that we have, how to growing things local way.
Yeah.
And the handicraft, for instance, like weaving, these kind of things. Like the men, they know how to do like the bamboo basket, these kind of things. Like working with bamboo, for instance, like natural buildings.
Yeah.
So these kind of things that can be learned.
And also, it's interesting they have a facility to make from the feces of people and animals. They make a biogas, a gas.
Yeah, these kind of things.
Where
you
have, the cook system. With it. That's very interesting combination.
The biogas system.
Yeah.
I believe for sustainable, the biogas is the key. Especially most of the local people, they're using wood for cooking, for fuels. So I see that to stop these, we have to install biogas. Human waste is the best,
Mm-hmm.
So instead just let it gone, with the air, the methane, create a climate. So we stop that. We're using the gas into our kitchen and cook with it.
What do you need to go further with your project? What is the things that at the moment are the critical points in the development of your project?
Okay, I need two things. The first thing is money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The second thing is the people. I think the people, it's easy once you have the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also now, but a lot of people are coming here already from Europe. There must be
a lot, but then still like I say, most of the ones here that they come, we only ask them to pay for the food, and it's only enough for that.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not enough to fund the other project. Like to build a biogas system, it's actually costs a lot of money for local people. The biogas that I built it's actually nearly for free that they come and help to build it up. So I only buy material. It's actually cost me like $1,000.
Okay.
$1,000 is a lot for local people.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but that's 3 years ago. So now like material is more. So I don't know how much it's gonna cost now. And even the stove it has to be a special one. You cannot just buy any gas stove and use with that system.
Okay.
So the whole it has to be bigger. So some technician. So yeah, these kind of things.
So also, if somebody wants to contact you, we add the address and your contact numbers at the end of the video, of course.
Sure. They could check it out, like when you like the website, Sae Lao project. They would have all the information. We have our website.
We have also been talking about the length of the stay here, and you fixed it now to 2 weeks in the minimum.
Yeah, 2 weeks minimum.
So that the people who come here can profit, and the people who are here can also
they could actually learn something.
Yeah,
like,
so that the exchange is really strong.
At least they could understand first.
Yeah.
Like when you are there 2 weeks, you will fully understand things.
And so it would be good that the people who come here are a little bit prepared also.
Of
and
course.
This preparation, what is the project about, can also be done in Europe.
Of course, what they could do is like if they are in Europe, right now we are trying to partner up with SCI. So especially in Germany.
What SCI?
SCI is an organization, it's an NGO, it's quite big. They have partnered more than 95 countries throughout the
It's a volunteer
world.
organization.
It's volunteer organization.
Okay.
They actually send out they actually prepare their people to send abroad.
Okay.
So they based in Belgium, in Germany, in many countries.
And they already do that?
They already do that for many years.
So for people who are interested, go to this place and inform themselves about that.
They could, like Google it and then they will read some information. Any country where they want to go so hopefully Sae Lao would be listed soon in their database. Because this process is actually take a long time.
Okay.
So in January we should have one person come from Belgium to make a trial.
Okay.
For 1 month to see, and then this volunteer would go back and then give a feedback.
The multiplier for the people.
And then once that happens, hopefully this work out very well.
Okay.
And then we'll have a partner in Belgium, and hopefully we could have a partner in Germany. Yeah. So if we have these two countries, if it work well, and then it would go more to another countries like Spain, and then in international, like any other country that have SCI space, and then they could send. And like hopefully we could do the same thing if there's any Lao people that would like to go abroad and be a volunteer.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future we could learn from our partner how do they do it, how do they prepare their volunteers, so we could do the same with the city people that have more money that could afford to buy their own ticket to go to Europe and experience 1 month, 2 months, so that way their vision would be more bigger.
So look for the Sae Lao project, very interesting. Thank you, Sengkeo, for your time that you took for the interview and life that you invested into this nice project. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for interviewing me, and hopefully all this interviewing is, being spread out, and like hopefully more people that caring about this earth, this global of us, because no matter where we are, whatever you do, we all have the effect by the movement. If you're doing good, we have good effect. If you're doing bad things, we also have that bad effect, that bad wire here. So what I'm trying to do, try to do the best thing, so that way this vibration could shake, and everybody doing the same thing, and our humankind will last longer. I know our mother, it will always survive, but our humankind and all the species will not survive if we're not taking care of our Mother Earth.
Thank you.
Thank you.